Stay tuned. Gerry Anderson coming up next for an hour and a half. I'll be back tomorrow, and as usual, if you can't wait until then, you can leave your message by phoning 338281. That's the Belfast code, and my email address, jb@bbc.co.uk. Bye-bye.
We can wait. Thank you very much, John. Good morning. Thank you, John in Belfast. Thank you, Susan, up here on BBC Radio Foyle.
BBC Radio Foyle
and BBC Radio Ulster
with Gerry Anderson.
Good morning, welcome to the programme. I hope you enjoyed and are inspired by it. There are a number of things we have to do today. One is tell you the phone number that you must ring to contact this programme. You don't have to ring it, you must not ring it, but you can ring it if you wish. It's 08459 555 678. Far be it from us to demand that the people ring. That's 08459 555 678, or you can send me an email if you wish. There's no reason at all why that can't be done. That's gerry.anderson@bbc.co.uk. And as I look through the pile of paper I have in front of me, I realise that the emails that you sent me yesterday, I left them upstairs. This is not a thing that we haven't done before, you understand. But don't worry about it. Enjoy, inspire, entertain, educate, inspire, enjoy, inform, educate. Be true to our goals. Make the people get up in the morning and feel as if the world is a better place because we in the BBC will make it so.
I'm walking down the street and my heart goes boom. In a minute we will meet and my heart goes boom. When we are together I want love forever. I'm walking down the street and my heart goes boom, boom, boom. And my heart goes boom. Baby, be my lover. I don't want no other. What I really, really, really want is you. I don't need no education, stupid conversation for the things I wanna do. Baby, be my lover. I don't want no other. What I really, really, really want is true. I can't wait to see you wrap my arms around you, show you what I really wanna do. Jusqu'à présent, je n'ai jamais senti la force de ton amour. Si tu veux tout savoir, je sais bien qu'un jour, nous nous reverrons, et ça pour toujours. Oh mon amour, laisse-moi te toucher, caresser ta peau, ça me fait rêver, danser sur des rimes qui nous font vibrer. Je t'aime pour toujours, et ça tu le sais. Your kisses are so sweet and my heart goes boom. You're the only one I need and my heart goes boom. The world keeps turning, my heart keeps burning. I'm walking down the street and my heart goes boom, boom, boom. And my heart goes boom. Baby, be my lover. I don't want no other. What I really, really, really want is true. I can't wait to see you wrap my arms around you, show you what I really, 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 really dee da da la 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 la.
Brazen French Hussy. That's a lady, I don't know her name, but it's a band called French Affair. That's a song called My Heart Goes Boom. Right, let's look at the mail here. Here's a letter which was confusingly addressed, but it ended up in my desk. It's addressed to Glittering Celebrity, Radio Ulster. So it came to me. It said, Dear Glittering Celebrity, it's from Sharonay. I wrote to you recently expressing my concerns about the declining quality of the crap music you play. I think I can now safely say that normal service has now been resumed. She was worried, I think, because I was including some songs that other people play. Thank you for introducing me to the Red Army Choir. You didn't rise to glitterati status by pandering to the hoi polloi. Absolutely right. There was a moment there 3-4 weeks ago when I pandered to the request of the people out there. I realise now it was a mistake. And William, Julie, Jack and Lucy write to me. They know that I'm a keen golfer. And they tell me, I have sent you this advertisement as I thought it might interest you as you're a keen golfer, but I must stress that GUI dress code applies, which means, in English, no jeans allowed. The important thing is if you go on a Friday, it's a little ad, it says, Free Fry Friday, it says. When you purchase an adult 18-hole green fee for 13 quid, you'll get a free golfer's fry after your round of golf. This is the Mount Ober Golf Ski Leisure, it says here, in Knockbracken in Belfast. So golfers out there, be aware that if you fork out 13 quid for the adult 18-hole green fee, I can't say any of that, 18-hole green fee, you can get a free golfer's fry after your round of golf. It's valid Fridays only during July and August, between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m. That's when you really want a fry, isn't it? Between 11 and 5. But the thing is, if you're wearing jeans, you're not getting it, okay? Golfers are like that. Did you see that? Oi.
What's your name? Okay, Margaret, I'll do that for you, okay? Yes. What? Okay.
Golfing person.
Yes, it's from you, Margaret, the daughter.
God's sake. And I've got another thing here. Oh, there's someone on the phone here. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
What can I believe there's an argument to be settled here.
It is indeed, Gerry. And thanks for taking my call, Gerry.
Not at all. It's my job.
There's an old chap trying to bring in this morning, a wee fella called Ali Gibson. He's a friend of yours, ardent admirer of yours.
Yeah,
and he said he would beat me to bringing you in. Tell you what it was, Gerry. We were having a wee yarn last night, and there was a gentleman, Mr. Farrell, owns a wee bakery down there. There's a bit of a know-all down about Belmont.
I know the type.
And he says to us about the River Lagan, the
Yes.
source of it.
Uh-huh.
Well, nobody could come up, actually, with the original source of it. There was actually people said it started in Belfast Lough and flowed upwards.
It started in the canteen in the BBC. Did you not know that?
I did not, Gerry, no.
Started in the canteen in the BBC in 1932.
Is that right?
It was thought that Belfast needed a river.
Yes.
So the Director General of the BBC rode off to London.
Yes.
Sorry, the Director General of the BBC is in London.
It is in London now.
But he decreed that it was right that the BBC should form a river here.
Yes, yes.
So the appropriate forms were filled in. The permission was sought from Westminster and Stormont.
Aye.
And the river was started on the 14th of October,
That was very decent of him.
1932. And then fish were introduced into it 5 years later.
Oh, well, there's very few fish in it now, Gerry.
They took them out again because they realised that the fish supper industry was suffering. Because people were catching them and eating them in their own homes.
Is that
The
right?
poor. So, anyway, no, that's not true. I made that up.
I realise that you're such a
Okay.
bit of a spoof.
The source of the River Lagan.
If some of your listeners would be kind enough to ring in and sort of way qualify it for us, settle an argument, because there's a wee drink in it.
There's a wee drink in it.
Especially for wee Alec.
Wee Alec,
If
yeah.
he's listening.
I'm surprised that wee Alec sounds like a sneaky little bugger.
Oh, he is.
I'm
Wee
surprised you never
ex-jappy.
get in. I'm surprised you never get in before you.
Well, I'm the first on the phone there, according to Sean.
All right then, okay.
So,
Yes.
if you could settle that for me, Gerry, I'd be very grateful.
Okay, consider it done. I'll ask the people out there what the source of the River Lagan is.
I'll leave it with you.
I'm sure there'll be confused answers and a number of answers, I would
Well.
say. Okay, we'll do the best we can
Thank
for
you very much indeed, Gerry.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye now.
Bye. What?
Oh, sorry, Sleeve Crib.
Are you okay?
Sleeve Crib.
What does that mean?
That's where the Lagan rises.
That's great, thank you.
Does it?
All right, Tommy.
Well, according to that person that Geraldine spoke to.
It's obviously some kind of hillock or mountain or...
Yeah.
Where is it?
I don't know.
Did it never occur to you to ask?
I didn't talk to the person.
You don't even know what that means, sleeve goo. Glue, is it?
It's crib.
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 Sleeve crib.
Well, did you tell me then what it means?
Why do I know? Do you think I'm not an Irish speaker?
Well, what did you ask me for?
Because you're the one who told me. Do you know that in Knockbracken, hold on a second, in the Mount Ober Golf Ski Leisure Club, you can get a free fry if you purchase an adult 18-hole green fee for 13 quid, but only on Fridays during July and August between 11 a.m. and 5 p.m.
That's not bad. It's good.
But you don't get it if you're wearing jeans. You approve of that, don't you?
No.
Well, like golfers, they're very fussy about that,
Yes.
you people.
Yes.
You people who play golf, you don't like...
No, there's certain people who make the rules are fussy. But that's such a silly
You
rule.
can't say thing. This is the year 2001. You can't say to a man who wants to play golf, you can't wear jeans. That's what you wear playing golf. You wear jeans. That's
I know,
a leisure activity.
but you see, there's certain people, which you rightly point out, are pains in the...
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and they make these silly rules, and you must wear some golf clubs you can't get without a shirt and tie on you. You must wear a tie. You're anything stupid in all your life.
You're angry, aren't you?
I am angry. I am. I went away and I come back angry.
I thought that course had done you some good, but you're
No.
just as vicious.
Yeah.
That's okay. That's okay. Just try and control it.
Okay.
Okay, right. Please would you play a record request for everyone attending the... And it says nothing after that. Please would you play a record request for everyone attending the Baha'i Summer School at the Portrush Catering College this week. It's from the 20th and the 27th of August. Please wish the participants a great time. I'm sorry I'll be with you all in spirit, and I hope to make it to Portrush on one of the days, possibly Thursday. My wife is attending all week. That's from Malcolm Lake, who's a Baha'i. I'm not. I'm nothing, really. I would need to be something as my life comes to a close. And here's a man who says, there's an email about Ouija boards. He says, I'm not sure if your listeners would be interested in the following, but who knows? Someone got into my taxi a couple of nights ago and inquired if I knew where they could purchase a Ouija board. I don't know, I said. Try the internet, or better still, why don't you ring Gerry Anderson on Radio Ulster? The question brought back childhood memories from the 60s. When you, Gerry, were in the prime of your life and show bands were a big hit. Back then, Ouija boards were very popular, and my big brother moaned for weeks before his 12th birthday for one. My brother had a keen interest in the occult and horror movies. I think he watched far too many of those Hammer horror movies starring the likes of Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee. Remember those happy days when we cringed behind our cinema seats and almost melted our Maltesers? I could hardly light my woodbine because of the fear of Frankenstein. I wasn't afraid of Frankenstein, I was afraid of the monster. Frankenstein, of course, was the doctor who created the monster. As for me, I was and am still scared witless, or another rhyming word that is not BBC radio friendly. In fact, so much that I would be hiding behind the settee once the movie started on the telly all those years ago. Anyway, the morning of my brother's birthday, one of his presents was, yes, a Ouija board. I remember him taking it out of the box as if it were possessed. I was 8 years old. I found the whole thing rather bewitching at the time. That evening, me and my happy little dysfunctional family sat around the living room table, all four of us lightly touching the heart-shaped plastic planchette as it sat on the Ouija board. Following the instructions from the booklet, one of the four at the table would ask a question that would be answered by the movements of the pointer around the board. I can almost see the thing pointing now. My mother was always the person that asked the questions. My dad sat looking bored and he would mutter, "Nonsense!" My mother always started the game off, if that's the expression, with the first question, and what she would normally say is there anyone out there? A few seconds later, the pointer would move as if under its own control. Wow, I would say, because I had been to American movies. Cool, my brother would utter, because he'd been to some too. Bloody nonsense, my dad would murmur, because he had been in the British Army. A few seconds later, the pointer would move as if under its own control. What great family fun we all enjoyed from the Ouija board for many weeks, until one day after school I could hear unfamiliar voices coming from the living room. Two strange old women I had never seen before sat talking to my mother, drinking copious amounts of tea. After they left, I asked my mother who they were. She said they were Jehovah's Witnesses. At first I thought my mother had run into some foreign man called Jehovah in the car. But it was worse. It was a religion. Suddenly, as if by magic, my mother no longer wanted to play Ouija in the evenings with the rest of us. She became obsessed with God, the Bible. She must have rang talkback on a number of occasions. And just how many Watchtower magazines she could sell around the doors of our local neighbourhood. Then one night, as we all sat around a blazing fire watching my TV, my mother suddenly jumped to her feet. "I've had enough," she shouted. "It's got to go." "Bloody what?" my dad said, half asleep. "The devil's tool," she protested. "The devil's what?" my dad said, looking puzzled and slightly embarrassed. "Ouija! That's what's got to go," she yelled as she went over to the cupboard where the game was kept. "It's too late to play Ouija tonight," my dad said flippantly as she lifted it out of the cupboard. "Oh no, we're not playing the devil's board game in this house ever again. It's going in the fire," she said in a calm voice but with a crazed look in her face. "Are you bloody nuts, woman? You know how much that bloody game cost?" my dad frantically cried. "I don't care," she said. "It's the devil's tool." "Stop calling it that in front of the children," my dad retorted. Like a mad woman, she ripped the board game into several pieces, threw each bit into the blazing fire. The final thing to hit the flames was the plastic heart-shaped pointer. That's when all the fun really started. The plastic reacted with the flames to give a spectacular light show, like nothing any of us had ever seen, even on a Moorhead. The most prominent colour was a lime green. It saturated the grate. This only made my mother become even more excited. "Look," she said, "green flames. It's the devil coming down the chimney to claim his tool," she yelled, pointing at the grate. "Bloody nonsense," my dad said. "Cool," my brother said. "It's the devil." I started to cry and sobbed. "Now, Santa Claus, how's Santa Claus going to get down the chimney if the devil's in the fire?" I then ran and hid behind the settee.
There was a woman and she lived on her own, slaved on her own, skivvied on her own. She'd 2 little boys, 2 little girls. She lived all alone with her husband. He was a hunk of a man, a chunk of a man, a drunk of a man, a hunk of a drunken skunk of a man. Such a boozy, bruising bully of a husband. When he came home drunk at night, he trashed her black and trashed her white, trashed her to within an inch of her life, and snored all night like a finger drunken husband. One night she gathered her tears all round her shame, covered up the bruise and cried with the pain, "You'll not do that ever again. I'll not live any more with a drunk of a husband." And that night as he lay drunk in bed, the strangest thought came to her head. She took the needle and the thread and went straight into her sleeping husband. She started to stitch with a girlish thrill, a woman's eye, a seamstress skill. She bit and tucked with an iron will as she stitched all round her sleeping husband. The top sheet, the bottom sheet too, the blanket stitched to the mattress through. She bit and tucked the whole night through, waiting for the dawn and her husband. He awoke with a pain in his head. He found that he could not move in bed. Sweet God in heaven, have I lost me legs? She just sat and smiled at her husband. In her hand she held a frying pan, with a flutter in her heart she flew at him. He could not move, he cried, "God damn, don't you swear at me, you dirty husband." She beat him black, she beat him blue, with the frying pan and the colander too, with the rolling pin, a stroke or two. Such a battered and repenting husband. If you ever come home drunk again, I'll stitch you up and sew you in. Then I'll pack my bags and I'll be gone. I'll not live any more with a drunk of a husband. Isn't it true what a wife can do with the needle thread and the stitcher too? He has wiped his slate and his bosun's through. She don't live any more with a drunken husband.
That's Christy Moore. That's a song called A Stitch in Time, which is taken from his new album, which is called This Is the Day. That's been released as a single. It's just released now, so there it is. What's on that? Stitch in Time and a couple of other things as well. You'd think I'd take the trouble to look, but it's too much trouble for me. There's a man waiting. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm sorry to keep you there.
That's no problem at all.
That's okay. Tell me what seems to be the trouble, if indeed there is any.
Oh, no trouble. You're asking the source of the lagging.
Do you happen to know?
Well, you obviously never listen to Mr. Duncan in the afternoon.
Never.
I believe it's Foster and Allen had a song called The Lagging.
I've
And
tried
the
to
thing-
avoid that as much as possible.
Well, the first line, I believe, is my lagan sheep flows swiftly from Slieve Croob down to the sea.
But that does not necessarily mean that that is the source of it. You
I mean,
see,
they-
country and
the
Irish singers have never been famous for geographical accuracy.
Well, it's in the Mourns anyway.
Somewhere in the Mourns,
In the Mourns.
What is
Just
this?
up above the dam.
the dam, the Spelga
Yep.
Dam.
The Spelga Dam.
I flew over that in a helicopter. It's not. I don't advise it.
Why?
I was very frightened. Do you know what I was placed? I was in a helicopter one time for something that we were doing, and I was lowered out of a helicopter on top. What's the highest peak in the Mourns? There's one that
Yes, Slieve Donard.
Slieve Donard.
Yep.
No, it wasn't that one. There's one that is very high, and there's just like a little patch of concrete on the top of it.
Well, you've Big Binion and Wee Binion.
I think we're talking Big Binion here.
Yep.
Well, I was lowered out of the helicopter.
You can walk up the Big Binion.
Hold on a second. I'm getting some information which seems to clash with what you seem to have. Dromara Hills, you say?
Well, Dromara Hills are on the other side of Slieve Croob.
Well, the man rings up and says that Dromara Hills in the townland of what? Dree.
Leitrim.
Apparently, this is the source of the lag, and I knew this would cause some degree of confusion. So thereby, I was right about the country and Irish singers. They know nothing.
Well, the townland of Dromara is on which would probably be, let me think, the western side of the Mourns.
Mm-hmm.
So water being naturally gravity fed would flow down towards Dromara.
So
And
in
it
other
does-
words, if that is the case, that the water would go over the top of the mountain and down the other side.
Yes, down one side, and it does come down through Dromara and down meanders the whole way down through Lisburn.
And it's unknown for water to go uphill.
Well, there's yes,
It's difficult for water to go uphill over the top of a mountain and down the other side.
yes.
All right. So let me just check the credentials. What's the credentials
It's
of
in
the person who
townland
told
of
you that?
Dree. Yeah, in Dromara. Yeah.
Apparently we're getting that confirmed. That seems to be the favourite at the moment. It flies in the face of the country and Irish singers. What do Foster and Allen know anyway? Hey?
They know how to sing.
If we... Now, be careful what you're saying here. If we depended on Foster and Allen for all our knowledge, we wouldn't get very far. A man would never have got to the moon if he depended on Foster and Allen.
No.
Or Hugo, for that matter.
Oh, correct.
Indeed. Okay, well,
switch
thank you
them
for your contribution.
No problem.
I'm sure controversy will rage.
You'll find them right.
We may find you right, we may find you wrong, but if we find you wrong, take it like a man.
You'll find me right.
Take it like a man if you're wrong.
I will.
And take it like a man if you're right.
I will.
Okay.
Good luck.
Good man.
Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye. That's a man who knows he's right. I don't like people like that who always think they're right. I've got a letter here. It's a photograph from a newspaper. Let me just see what this is. This is from, who's this? Honourable Secretary of the Fan Club. No, there's no name. I didn't know I had a fan club. Someone sent this... What's this? Someone sent this to me, and I thought I'd pass it on. Oh, no, I know what it is. He sends me a tape of Dean Park, the man who recorded the... what do you call it? This song, Wee Andy's Scottish Medley. And I'm beginning to think something weird, because Dean Park has made a tape, and this man sent it to me, and it's absolutely straight, and it's really horrible. It's a man singing things like "The Wind Beneath My Wings," and things like, ordinary things, which leads me to suspect that what George Jones said may be true. Maybe George Jones doesn't realise that Andy Webber is supposed to be serious. Maybe it's not a joke at all. Anyway, someone sent me this tape. The tape is horrible, by the way. I couldn't play it, but thanks for it anyway. I thought I'd pass it on to you. Enough to say all communication with Scotland has since ceased. Good. That's what I like to hear. And this is what I want to talk about. I enclose a photograph of Geordie and a pooch. At least it's from the Banbridge leader. They seem to have got his name wrong. Let me check what it says here. I look at the photograph and I realise it is Geordie, and it is indeed Nipper, not Tiny. It is Nipper. It says here, Loch Brickland man Geordie Duff has been asked to judge the ferret show at this year's annual Co-Country Sports Fair at Guildford. That should be Country Sports Fair, but there's a P in there, which makes it confusing. Co-Country Sports Fair in Guildford. Well, Geordie Duff. It shows how famous he is in his own area, and the local paper can't even get his name right. I think it's unforgivable on behalf of the Banbridge leader. want to speak to the editor immediately. I think the leaders should be pulled up about this and made to apologise. I mean, when they flock from all arts and parts to visit him, you'd think they'd get his name right. Speaking of getting things right, Geordie asked you to play a request for his postman's birthday in May, but the postman's birthday is actually in September. There we are. Sorry to all postmen out there getting their birthdays wrong. And the Irish Fuchsia Society write to me. I thank you most sincerely, they say, for your superb announcement recently of the Irish Fuchsia Society show. Unfortunately, it was rather too early, as the details, re-venue and dates are likely to be forgotten by your listeners. I'd be very pleased if you again announced the show nearer the dates. Saturday the 1st of September and Sunday the 2nd of September, 2 p.m. until 5 p.m. The Hillmount Nursery, Gilnahirk, Belfast. 300 fuchsias and pelargoniums will be on show. Free admission and free parking. Exhibits are from all parts of Ireland, or as they say in country areas, from all arts and parts. If you're in the area on show days, I'd be very pleased to see you. I know that you will receive a very warm welcome from all our members and friends at Hillmount. Do please let me know if you have any problems with your fuchsias. I don't have at the moment, but I'm keeping an eye on them, because you never know with those buggers.
1, 2, 3.
This is Chip Taylor. This is another track from Black and White America.
You lifted me up, danced me round and round till you had enough. And when you had enough, and the coast was clear, you took the last train for Texas, Lord. You left me here. And the women come, don't the women go? Why's one more forever? I don't know. Was it Maria's eyes and Nanette's tears in the middle of that memory, Lord? You left me here. Left me here in this Bible town with the friends of Jesus, with the lost and found. I said, call out my name, I will appear. Shazam, you left me here. Get it, Johnny? Like a John Prine song, kinda runs away. When it comes back to your heart, well, it comes to stay. And I've been gone so long, but I had no fear. In the middle of my trials, Lord, you left me here. You left me here in this Bible town with the friends of Jesus, with the lost and found. You said, call out my name, I will appear. Abracadabra, you left me here. You left me here in this Bible town with the friends of Jesus, with the lost and found. With the lost and found. You said, call out my name, I will appear. Where are you, Lord? You left me here.
Right, we'll be back after news approximately 4 minutes past 11 o'clock. Until then, this is Jimmy Smith. There's a song called Walk on the Wild Side. See you at 4 minutes past 11. Bye.
92 to 95 FM.
And 1341 medium wave.
BBC Radio Ulster.
It's 11 o'clock and this is the news with Linda Ray. A 10-year-old boy has escaped injury in a gun attack at his home in County Antrim. The incident happened at Clough-Mills. From there, Colette Maguire reports.
The attack happened at 10:30 last night. The owner of the house in Mount Hill Drive had just gone to bed. His wife was downstairs watching television when they heard a car pulling up outside their front door. The owner, a Protestant, didn't want to be interviewed, but he told me he heard 2 shots and saw a gunman run away and get into a white Peugeot-type car. The shots had been fired through the front bedroom window where the man's 10-year-old son had been sleeping. The man says the boy and his 2 other young brothers are still very upset by what happened and are too afraid to go back into the bedroom. The family, which has lived in the Mount Hill area, a mixed estate for the past 6 years, say they have no idea why they were targeted.
In Ballymena, pipe bombs exploded outside 2 houses in the Inchcombe Avenue area of the predominantly Protestant Ballykeel estate. A front door and a window were damaged. No one was injured. The police say they haven't yet established a motive for these attacks or the gun attack in Clough-Mills. The government's deadline for a response to its policing blueprint isn't expected to be met today. Yesterday, the SDLP said it would join the new policing board. Sinn Féin has already rejected the proposals. But the Ulster Unionist Party and the DUP have indicated they need more time to consider the revised implementation plan. The Minister of Gavin Brett, the teenager murdered by loyalists last month, has condemned a UDA show of strength on the Shankill Road at the weekend. The UDA are suspected of being involved in the 18-year-old's murder on the Hightown Road in Glengormley. The Reverend Nigel Baylor said the parade was insulting and a sad reflection on society. A fire officer was slightly injured by a bottle thrown at his car as he went to attend a chip pan fire in the Cregan area of Londonderry last night. A man was rescued through a first-floor window by a neighbour after the fire broke out in the kitchen. He's been treated for the effects of breathing in smoke. The reserve judge on the Bloody Sunday inquiry, Mr Justice William Essen, has resigned on medical advice. The government has said that given the advanced stage of the inquiry, Mr Justice Essen, who was appointed to the inquiry last November, will not be replaced. Almost 30,000 students are receiving their GCSE results today. Once again, girls have netted most of the top grades. Overall, the number of pupils who got the top grade A start has gone up to 7%. 9% of girls reached the top grade compared to 5.3% of the boys. Lady Thatcher has given her backing to Ian Duncan Smith in the battle for the Conservative Party leadership. He said that he's happy to receive the endorsement. Lady Thatcher said his opponent, Kenneth Clarke, would be a disaster for the party if elected. The Shadow Home Secretary, Anne Widdecombe, says that Lady Thatcher should keep her views private and let party members decide.
22 years since she came to power. It's 11 years since she left power. Now, she made a very similar intervention in the last leadership election against Ken Clarke. 4 years later on, we've only got one more parliamentary seat. Now, I think there are limits to her clairvoyance and the way she can look into a crystal ball and say who will win and who will lose.
And the weather, wet and windy today, dry with mist tonight. BBC Radio Ulster News.
BBC Radio Ulster.
Travel news.
SeaCat says the following services have been cancelled due to adverse weather conditions: the midday sailing from Heysham to Belfast, the 2:15 from Belfast to Troon, and the return service at 5:30. For more information, passengers should contact the company on 08705 523 523. On the roads and in Ballymena, installation work continues on the Glen Leslie Road. The road is closed to traffic and diversions are in place. And in Lisburn, Creevy Road remains closed from Cumber Road to Gannon Road as installation work continues. Diversions are signposted. Roy Willigan with the travel news.
Welcome back.
BBC Radio Foyle.
And BBC Radio Ulster.
With Gerry Anderson.
This is Alan Freed, the old king of the Moondoggers, and baseball is no longer fun. It's no longer a game. And so, I played my last game.
Top of the hour today, a colored woman named Rosa Parks was accused to move to the back of a Montgomery bus.
Soviet military
Local
buildup
authorities are
on
concerned
the island
about
of Cuba. Within the past week,
We're talking here. President Kennedy and Texas Governor John Connally were shot
They're going to
from
find out
ambush
that
today.
Negro that they thought was passive has become a lion inside their house, in their bed, in the kitchen, in the attic, in the basement.
Elvis Presley singing, I forgot to remember to forget her.
Marilyn Monroe died.
and oftentimes battling war against communist rebels in South
Martin Luther
Vietnam,
King Jr. was
swung
shot
sharply toward a
outside
new
of
crisis
Memphis
in
Hotel
England.
this
For the
afternoon.
first time in the years-long struggle for civil rights in this city.
Senator Kennedy has been shot. Is that possible? Is that possible?
It's flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Woo, woo, woo. And I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on the tree, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. Yeah, yeah. Stars, when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me.
You know, given time, application, and the right tutor, she could end up to be just as good a singer as Emma Bunton. I think it's possible. It's coming up to 9 minutes past 11. There's a Marie Curie nurse cycling from Enniskillen to Armagh today to raise money for Marie Curie. Who else is here? And lost a boxer dog in Antrim on Sunday afternoon. The flight of the pooches continues. Joe from West Belfast wants me to play something by Elvis. I've never warmed to Elvis. You know, I'm an in-betweenie. I was too young for Elvis and too old for the Beatles. I don't fit in anywhere. There are people like that out there, you know. People who didn't like Elvis all that much, and when the Beatles came along, they were past it. Lost an orange and white cat 4 or 5 days ago from the Park Hall area of Antrim. You need to watch himself. If he wanders into the wrong area, it's not good being an orange and white cat. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Is that Jock?
Yes, this is Jock.
Yes, Jock. What have you got to contribute to this programme, if anything? We have nothing.
Have you got nothing?
Nothing
well,
to contribute to.
There was a man on just earlier on about the source of the legend.
I thought he was a bit smug.
I thought he was too. Very
I thought
smug.
he was a bit of a know-all, I thought.
Because I so happen to be
a Scotsman, and I'm living in Dromara, and I know where the source of the lagoon is.
Well, do you think there'll come a time when you won't be a Scotsman? You say you still happen to be one.
Yes, I will. I still am.
Do you expect a time?
Well, but I'm a bit of an immigrant, you know.
Where are you actually from?
Eh?
Where are you from originally?
Oh, halfway between Aberdeen and Inverness.
Well, that sounds...
The heart of the Scotch whisky country.
That's the Highlands boy.
Yes, I'm a Highlander.
Well, that qualifies you admirably for being a Scot. And I think you shall remain one until the day you pop your clogs.
Oh, well, I might, you know.
Well, how come you know about the source of the lagoon when we don't know?
Well, you being as educated and sophisticated as you are, you know, I thought you might have known.
I suppose that's true. I am educated and sophisticated and a glittering celebrity to boot. But I can't say I know everything.
But the source of the lagoon is just up the road here, out of Dromara. Up what they call Dree Hill, on Slave Croob.
Well, that's what the man says that is not the case.
Oh, but that is the case.
No, we've had
and it would have a long way to come from Slave Donard. It would have a few mountains to cross.
He didn't say Slave Donard. He said another thing. Let me just check. Let me just check with the Oracle here. Hello, Oracle.
No.
What did he say?
Who say?
Who say?
Who?
The original man.
Jock is right.
According to Foster and Allen, what's the source of the lagoon?
But according to Foster and Allen, the song goes for a start through Dromore and Dromara, because that rhymes better than Dromara and Dromore.
That's what I mean, you see. These scoundrels, Foster and Allen, they tend to pick words that rhyme rather than historical.
Yeah, well, they changed the words round.
I know, for geographical... They don't care about geographical accuracy, and neither does Hugo the wee bugger. or else he wouldn't be playing it. Do you see if I found a record which contained geographical inaccuracies, it would never go down my turntable.
Oh, I know.
What about your turntable, Mr. Coyle?
Apparently you do play one.
But it definitely...
Excuse me, Jock.
It definitely starts off as a little trickle.
Well,
a little wee stream.
I'm the same myself these days.
Oh, it does it?
Takes me longer than it used to. What were you saying there, Mr.
Apparently Van Morrison sings a song that's not accurate.
It's all over the place.
Yes.
It's all over the place. What song is that? Is that Clean the Windows?
No.
The other one.
One about Coney Island.
Coney Island.
We play it all the time.
He's going up and round like
yes,
what?
Right. Yes, right.
Like a fiddler's elbow.
Yes, that's...
And he's going all round the whole place.
Yes.
And if he was going from A to B, it would take him 4 days.
Yeah.
He's shooting back and forward like a pinball ball. What's a pinball ball called?
A bowling ball.
No, that's not a pinball ball. Do you know we ever pinball machines, right? Do you know the ball that's in there?
Yes.
Is it called a pinball ball? Or is it just called a pinball?
It's called a bowling ball.
No, I'm talking pinball.
I said the thing you knocked down your Skittles.
Tommy.
Oh, that?
He see me,
that?
feel me, touch me, feel me.
Yeah, it's a pin...
It's called a pinball ball.
Yeah.
It sounds awkward. Anyway, let's go back to the Highlander.
Turn me off.
I will turn you off with the greatest of pleasure. Well, sir, what do you say? Where does it start with the trickle?
Huh?
Where does it start with the trickle?
Where does it start? As a trickle on Slave Croob.
All right, then. So, in other words, the man is right if he says it starts at Slave Croob, even though it's only a trickle.
Huh? But he didn't actually say Slave Croob.
He did.
Well, that's where it starts. But Slave Croob is in Dromara.
So we're talking about the two same places. Are we talking about the two same places?
And
Jock's right.
Slave Croob's on...
Jock, you're right. The man said it started at the Spelga Dam or something.
Yes, well, it's nowhere near the Spelga
That's what he
Dam.
said. That's why Jock's trying to correct him.
Yes.
Well, will somebody tell me what's going on?
You're the boy that's conducting the interviews.
I don't know anything about this.
But you're there.
But
I know I'm here.
The Spelga Dam, it would be going into the sea about Kilkeel.
I would
nothing
say
to do with the Spelga Dam.
No, it has not.
Don't be cheeky to him.
No, I'm not being cheeky. I'm trying to tell you.
I don't know what's going on. In other words, one man said that it started as Slave Crub, or whatever you call it.
No. Yes. The first man.
And then the other man came on and said that was wrong.
The second man said it started at Slave Croob.
Yes?
Yeah, but the first man said it started at Spelgadam.
Yes.
Ah, he's wrong.
He's a smug one.
But the third man.
The third man's Jock.
Oh,
yes, I'm...
Jock's the third man.
Well, who was the man who said it started somewhere else?
The man in the pub.
Sure, we don't listen to men in pubs.
The first
man was the man in the pub.
The first man said it started at Spelgadam. The second man said it started at Slieve Croob.
Right.
And I'm confirming it starts at Slieve Croob.
That's it.
But it's only a trickle.
Yes, it's only a trickle.
When does it become a torrent?
When does it become a torrent? When it gets down about Moira or somewhere there about it begins to get big.
All right.
Right, will you turn me off now?
You know what's coming, don't you?
I
do. Well, I've been in Moira myself. But I can't report that, I have to be honest.
Well, it doesn't go through Moira, but it goes down that direction. It goes down Dacholey, anyway.
Right.
And then on through Lisburn and Hilden and...
Yes, Jock.
Turn
Yes, Jock.
me
Sorry,
off.
we're away off in another direction here. It's very bad. So there was none of this when you were away.
That's good.
Sorry. I can't breathe.
But now you've got a source to the lagging anyway.
Yes, thank you, Jock. I'm sorry for the
Oh,
irreverence.
it's no bother to me.
The irreverence shown by the staff here. But you know that we can't concentrate on anything too long.
I mean, all them, that first Irishman, and he didn't know, or Ulsterman, and he didn't know where the lagging.
Some of these Ulstermen don't deserve the title Ulsterman.
I know.
They know nothing about their own
history.
They don't even know where Napoleon's nose is. All right then, Jock. Thank you very much.
Okay, Jerry.
Thank you. Bye. Bye. You see, you need it. Hello. Good morning.
Hello, is that Mr. Anderson there?
It is. Yes, is that Michael?
Yes, it is. Will I tell you something? It's terrible far away. Hold on there, I get my vehicle stopped here before the police stop me.
Mm-hmm.
Will I tell you something?
Yes.
There's terrible lot of ill kind on going on here this morning, terrible lot of ill nonsense talked and all. The people don't want to hear where you have a wee stream or a wee whatever.
Stop it. Don't be keeping this thing going.
I'm not keeping it going. Tell us stop it on its tracks.
Every once in a while, sometimes...
You're sick.
Every once in a while, this programme gets out of control. I'm sorry about that. It's a live programme, and I can't help it. Yesterday was very embarrassing for me when the dog farted, and the lady blamed the man. You know what I mean? That's very embarrassing for me. And I tossed and turned in bed last night, and I promised that sort of thing wouldn't happen again. But here again, it's happened again today.
Well, you know what brought this on? A certain man returned from his anger management course.
I know. It's this programme has taken a downward turn, Mr. Coyle, since you came back. We managed to reach a certain level of sophistication without you. Now that you've come back, it seems to have plummeted new depths. And I promise you, Michael, that this thing will not be allowed to continue.
Well, that's all right. Here, I hope you get a better day next Tuesday and what we're getting today.
I'll tell you what. If we go to Ballycastle next Tuesday and it's a day like this, I'm not going on. I'm not going on. I'm staying in the hotel.
I was thinking maybe swing myself by.
I'm going to stay in the hotel and people can come in and talk to me. I'm not going to stand out in the street in a day like that. I declared yesterday, I announced that the summer was over, and boy was I right.
Well, that's right. You're the man of knowledge.
Boy was I right. But according to the weather forecast, it's going to be sunny and warm tomorrow. Did you know that?
You know this? The wee hussy, what do you call her, on the BBC last night says it'd be dry and pleasant till lunchtime, and then rain would sweep in from the west or something. For days it didn't have sweep in.
I woke up this morning and there's a tree outside my house. It was nearly bent double.
Well, I'll tell you, if the rain came in at lunchtime, it must be about dinner time by the time I get up.
Can I just say one thing, Michael, before we go on? I'd thank you not to refer to BBC weather women as wee hussies.
Sorry, well,
Which wee hussy was that? Was it... Which one? The one that used to have the long hair and it's short now?
No, it's not one of our babies. It's not one of us. She's one of the other side.
The other hussies? The other side? The Protestants? No. What? Who was it? Was it UTV?
No, stop it. I was going to the office trying to do delivery and I could get this morning. me whatever religion mentioned. One time he said, I was talking about pumpkins away last Halloween. He said I should be green ones again. And I got to blame. I knew to be up there.
You tell her it's not your fault, it's my fault.
And you know what she says to her sister? Her sister was up for middle school. And she says, that's that cheeky monkey. And I have a parcel on for her. Just in case she's listening, would you know she is up there about 1 o'clock.
I know.
Here,
Well, listen, who was it? Tina Campbell?
No, the wee Huzzy and the
ETV?
No, on the BBC and across the water.
The one that smiles at you all the time and you want to hit her.
The one that pretends she's always happy.
I know, I hate that. Why are they so happy?
I don't know.
They're always
anyhow, it
smiling.
doesn't matter about her. She got it wrong again for this. It doesn't matter, sure. You know, and how are you anyway?
I'm fine, thank
back
you.
Helping you, the Anson boy, straight back into his chair. No,
I know. I'm looking forward to a little break, actually.
Do you know something? You know when you've talked about there's no cancellations anymore. It's not even holidays.
No, there's nothing.
I went in yesterday. I thought to myself, I haven't been away. I need to get away to Turkey, for a week or so.
Cost you £1,000.
And it went off. They were looking nearly £400 for a week.
There was
ways up.
There was a time when the earth was young. About this time last year, if you wanted to go to Turkey or somewhere, it would cost you a couple of £100. And now it's what? Four and five.
£370 plus £30 for insurance or something.
And that's only for a week.
That's only for a week.
And that's not.
And I sit there radio.
That's self catering.
That's breakfast. Like for all this, drop a breakfast like a drop of your dirty cheese or something. You wouldn't touch the breakfast.
And a wee bit of a stale roll. But that's not half board or anything.
Catering. Sorry?
That's not half board or anything.
No, it's not half board.
That's very expensive. No. That's very expensive for a week.
Well, you see, this is it. And I said, I said, well, I tell you, I says, I thought I expected to pay about 200, 220, maybe, She says, oh, no. They make you feel like nothing, no size. Oh, no.
Well, I
price nowadays.
I know things are rough, but you see, I've had a very rough summer. People who regularly listen to this program will realise that I haven't had a break since last January.
No, excuse me, Mr. Anderson, you were away.
I wasn't.
You weren't sure you were off the air for a couple of weeks.
I was not. I've been on the air constantly since February. I was away one day.
Are you terrible sure about this now?
I'm absolutely positive.
Let
me check with the Oracle. Oracle.
Yes.
Isn't it true that I've been in this chair since mid-February with only one day off, whereas you have taken a month off?
Not at all.
Where was I?
You went away to the Sonys for a weekend, had a real knees up.
That's business, for God's sake. I'm talking about a holiday.
You went off to Dublin to interview Christy Moore.
But that's a programme, isn't it?
But you were away enjoying yourself.
That's what you call a holiday. Doing this programme from Dublin, that's what you call a holiday, is it?
What do you call 3 days in London?
I call that work.
Yeah, all expenses paid.
Well,
I take it back, Mr. Anderson. I'm terribly sorry. Maybe I was thinking.
I'm going away.
I thought maybe you had been away or something.
No, I haven't
been.
Hey,
will I tell you? Some people have a terrible cheek, Gerry.
They have.
Like, I maybe, of a morning there, maybe if I'm on the Ormer Road there, I'd call into Vivian, the flower shop, and I'd get a cup of tea and a wee pancake or something.
Yes.
A couple of pancakes and she'd make some fresh.
Yes.
And then Bobby McKee one, he's coming round this morning, he's seen me, and he slipped in behind me. Next thing, he ate one of the pancakes.
I
only got one, and there was two of them, and he's down with a cup of tea and eating a pancake and all. Not a shame about him.
That's a terrible thing to do. I wouldn't steal anybody's pancakes.
I know that. He'd take the very milk out of your tea if you let him.
Take it out of your head. Come back for the socket. I think that's the way people are reared, I blame the education system and the parents for rearing someone who would take a man's last pancake.
Well, you see, this is it. And the woman was out in Paris. She had to give it to him. She had nothing else. Like, she bought the two of them for me, because she knew I was coming.
Croatia. Have you thought about Croatia?
Croatia?
You can get there for a week for a couple of £100. The only thing is you have to dodge the bullets.
I'm sure the flak checks are right and cheap here to take Croatia as we're in the peace process.
Croatia, Sardinia. What about Sardinia? There's a volcano there, not Sicily.
I'll tell you, we're sensible price. Tunisia, I've never been there.
Tunisia, go to Tunisia. There's a big beach there. It's called the Sahara Desert. There's plenty of sand. There's plenty of room in the beach. And you can go as far inland as you like. And there's no Germans throwing towels on the beds. No, seriously, Tunisia is very nice. I hear great reports about it. But the only thing about Tunisia, as far as I know, and I could be entirely wrong, if you go to these hotels, they're like fortresses. All the natives are outside trying to get in. And you're lying. I would feel guilty. I wouldn't enjoy that.
Some of the ones in Turkey are a wee bit like that, you know.
Yeah. Do you know the worst thing I ever experienced? And I have to say, it's wrong, and I'm serious. If you go to, I was in Bangkok. You go to Bangkok, and you see, it's if you know the big hotels, the Sheraton, the Hilton, you can stay there for like 30 quid a night.
Apparently so, that's right.
But here it costs you 200 quid. But there you stay 30 quid a night. So when you can go into a 5-star hotel, and it's 30 quid a night. You know, that's relatively, that's nothing. Do you know what I mean? But the only thing is, when you come out of a 5-star hotel in Bangkok, there's a whole culture living round it outside.
I know, yes.
And see, when you come out, they're at you like ants. And it makes you really feel, it makes you feel horrible. Because these poor people have nothing.
Jay, can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I had the experience of going to Egypt a number of years ago, right? And when you get off the boat in Port Said,
yes,
there's all these men trying to sell you things, you know.
I know.
And what'll I tell you? You go on your bus, and it's an armed escort, Jerry.
I know.
Buses have the armed escort. And, like, they're going through slums and the poor chill. Oh, I felt awful. But you see a thing about it. All these wee shacks, the huts, you know, something like an old outhouse or something that a farmer would have. That's what they're living in.
I know. And
every single one of them had a satellite dish.
I know.
And you know what the guide told us? He says, the government put them in. I says, it's good for the TV. And you know what she says? No, it was to cut down the population.
So they give them satellite.
Baby boom. And it worked. The first year they put them in, the baby boom was cut by 62% or something like that.
So they give them satellite dishes to stop more babies being born. So people are lying watching Dallas and old reruns of Only Fools and Horses instead of making babies. They should get more here then.
Well, I don't know.
I know certain places they should give everybody 2 each.
But I'll tell you, another experience I had, I think I've told you this before, I was in Cyprus.
Yes.
And it was a wedding still, I'll never forget it. It was a gorgeous day, and the clothes a wee bit like half day, and that's some of them, you know.
Yes.
And I went to order a taxi, because we're going into the town, and the taxi man says, no, don't order the taxi at that time. It's about 5 o'clock, no tea time.
Yes.
I says, why? He says, Beauty and the Beast. And I says, what? He says, Beauty and the Beast. I said, what do you mean? And this is absolutely true, Jerry.
The TV programme.
Yes. They wouldn't come out of their houses or go in their taxi to work as they were watching Beauty and the Beast. And I true as God may strike me stone dead. I couldn't believe it.
So
I had to see it. I thought, no, it couldn't be the Beauty and the Beast that was on, you know.
Why do they
and this is like 5 years after it stopped, you know, over here.
Even when it was on here, you couldn't look at it.
It's awful.
And why do they like it in Cyprus?
And apparently it was no in wee coffee shops, no, there was all the talk and all what was going to happen next and all, you know. And I couldn't believe it. And the taxi, you couldn't get a taxi for love nor money, couldn't get a shop open.
I read a piece of journalism one time, and it said that the most popular programme in Mongolia, outer Mongolia, ever, is Dallas. There's something wrong, isn't there?
The world isn't that.
Anyway, before we right the wrongs of the world, I'd like to say how happy I am to speak to you, and I must move on now.
I suppose you better.
I'm not saying goodbye. I'm just saying get off the line. There are other people on.
Yes. Well, I'll see you next week. Yeah.
Okay, Michael, please do. Why don't you come down to see us in Ballycastle? Please do.
I'm not definite, but I said to Jimmy the pipe, and if things work out all right, I might swing myself back.
I know you don't want to be. I know that you're a little. You don't want to be identified.
Hesitant, yes.
Yes.
But I'll come and speak to you.
Come and speak to me, and I will not reveal your identity.
Right.
Because I like to put a face on the people.
Well, certainly.
No matter what it's like.
Well, you better get on with it.
Okay.
Tearing up around.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Bye. He's a lovely person.
Yes.
He really is.
Wait. There's a lady waiting to talk to you. There's a lady waiting to talk to you.
Oh, just a minute. The Red Army Choir is here.
Me and you, I do. I think about you day and night. It's only right to think about the girl you love and hope you die so happy together.
If I should call you up, invest a dime, and you say you belong to me, and use my mind, imagine how the world would be so very fine, so happy together.
And you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it gets to be the only one for me is you and you for me, so happy together. I can't see me loving nobody but you for all my life. When you are with me, it excites me too for all my life. Me and you. And you and me, no matter how they toss the dice, it has to be the only one for me is you and you for me, so happy together. And me, no matter how they toss the dice, it has to be the only one for me is you and you for me, so happy together, 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 so happy together.
A stunning record that is. That's the Leningrad Cowboys and the full blast of the Red Army Choir singing the Turtle song, Happy Together. And as I said before, I really want to shake the hand of the man who talked the Red Army Choir into doing that, because this is not the sort of thing you hear every day. There's a lady on the line. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Gerry.
Sorry for keeping you there. I had to hear the Red Army Choir.
It was very nice, yes, thank you.
It's not every day you hear that. That was for Sharon A, by the way.
It's really, Michael went before I got speaking to you, because I saw a holiday on Rhodes yesterday for 169.
Rhodes?
Yes, in Fallaraki.
That's very cheap.
It was. Well, I thought it was very cheap, but I thought maybe it was up a mountain somewhere. But anyway, that's not what I called to ring you.
Well, generally, because of the summer we've had, generally holidays are quite expensive. Anyone who takes a notion now to go, you'll find that the ordinary kind of tiny little week that you used to get, for a couple of £100 is now costing you a lot more than that.
That's true, yes, that's true.
Which seems to me to be a bit of a rip-off, to be honest with you.
I thought that was a bit strange, 169, but anyway.
There's probably no roof in the hotel.
Probably, or they're building something on the bottom of it or something like that.
Something wrong, something badly wrong there.
No, what I wanted to ask you, you advertised the Black and Blue America Chip Taylor yesterday.
Yes.
And I went and I bought the single, the CD single.
Yes.
Now, Brian Kennedy is interviewing Chip Taylor on the single.
That's right.
Is he singing on the large CD, do you know?
No, that's the only track he has any involvement with.
He accompanies him briefly on
He does,
on
yes. He
on
does.
the Stroke City Girls.
Yes.
But he also does a good interview with him on it.
He does indeed. I've never played that because it doesn't sound right.
No, it wouldn't come over there very well. But
No. But he does, yeah. Anyone who buys the single, you also get an interview, a recording of Brian Kennedy. And he's giggling away, isn't he?
He is giggling away, laughing away, yes. I'm a very big fan of Brian Kennedy's. I've rang you several times to get you to play him, but I think there's a new CD coming out soon.
Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll play this. We'll play the interview. Hold on a minute. I wonder, is it on the album?
It is on the album.
Is it? Have you got the album?
I have.
Oh, have you?
I have the album. I have the CD, just the single CD.
But you haven't got the album?
No.
Let's check.
I wasn't able to get the album. They didn't have it.
Well, they should be able to get it now. Let's see. Let's just play this. See what it is.
Everybody's smart enough with the younger ones who aren't involved. The younger Northern Irish people are so together in a sense that they know, like, fuck, I don't care what you are, who you are. Just if you're going to bother me, I'll kick your teeth in. But if you want to talk to me and be a gentleman to me, like I was taught to be, we can be friends.
I don't think that's Brian Kennedy somehow,
No,
do you?
no.
Well, you see, the reason I played that, you see, there's 32 tracks on this album.
Right.
But all the odd tracks, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, are just little pieces of speech.
Right.
And I thought perhaps that what was included in the single would be, that's the one that's before Stroke City Girls.
No, the interview's just more or less about Ireland.
Yeah,
and...
but what I'm saying is, on the album,
Yes.
that what you just heard is the only bit of speech before Stroke City Girls.
Oh, right.
You see, and that's great. I want to hear that again. That was good. What do you hear? Let me put it on again. It's obviously some an average citizen from the good city of Belfast. Let's hear that again. This is the little piece of speech.
Everybody's smart enough with the younger ones who aren't involved. The younger Northern Irish people are so together in a sense that they know, like, fuck, I don't care what you are, who you are. Just if you're going to bother me, I'll kick your teeth in. But if you want to talk to me and be a gentleman to me, like I was taught to be, we can be friends.
He sounds like a man with a big future ahead of him as a politician.
Doesn't he?
Don't know who. He's uncredited on the album, but I'm sure you'll find him on the brew.
Oh, probably, yes. Well,
So listen, go and get the album. It should be ready. I mean, it should be in the shops. It should be in the bigger shops. It's on Trainwreck Records.
So, yes, on Trainwreck Records. I had that wrote down.
Yeah, Trainwreck.
Trainwreck. Right.
Trainwreck Records.
Black and Blue America.
That's right.
That's okay, Gerry. Thanks very much for speaking to me.
Not at all.
And I enjoy your show very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now, bye.
Okay, bye. Bye. There's a man in Scotland here. Hello?
Hello, Gerry.
Yes?
I was speaking to John Coyle there, but I listened to a programme the other day there, and it was relating to name origins. And are you there?
Yes,
Hello?
Yes, but I fear that I know what you're going to talk about.
Yes.
It's a programme which is quite odd. It's on Radio Ulster. It's called What's in a Name.
Yeah, it is indeed, yeah, but I just caught the tail end of it. I was going to phone them. I was just wondering if anybody could throw any light on my name.
What?
It's Warrisky.
Warrisky?
Yes.
I've heard there are Warriskys in Derry, Stoke Londonderry.
Yes, I believe it is. There's no place. I'm just back from Donegal, Galway and Mayo there. And my father was a Donegal man, you see.
Yes.
But the reason I'm calling is it doesn't seem to be very popular in any other part in Ireland other than Ulster. And I was wondering if anybody could tell me, like, for instance, one of the annoying factors about my name is over here and elsewhere in the world, everybody thinks, as soon as you say it, that it's of Polish origin.
Yes.
Right.
Ski, yeah.
And I was wondering if anyone over there could throw any light on the fact that, you know...
It's Whorisky.
Iskey.
E-Y.
Aye.
Warrisky.
Yes. I have the Gaelic origin of it, you know, the Gaelic spelling of it. Mm-hmm. And apparently it just means cold water. But nobody, the reason I'm saying that, nobody seems to believe you other than it was somebody maybe in Donegal or Ulster, in the province of Ulster itself.
Yes, I mean, I remember going to school with people called Warrisky.
Yeah.
And I remember meeting people. It's quite a common name in Donegal.
It's in Donegal. But no, it doesn't seem to be anywhere else other than you talk about Irish names.
Mm-hmm. And I don't think it's probably not of a... It's probably not of a Scottish origin. It sounds to me like the derivation of Old Irish.
It is indeed, yeah.
Like the nearest word I can think of, whiskey, iskawalya, that kind of thing.
I wrote to Ireland's Own years ago, but I'm just saying that if there were anybody out there that knew any more than me, and their interpretation of it was that it was of Furisky, meaning cold water.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, there's a lady on the line. She's going to explain it to you.
That's good.
Here we go. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes?
Hello, Mr. Furisky.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Mary Burns. I have a friend on Tory Island, Ono Furisky.
Uh-huh.
And, gosh, this last 30 years, I have only just known that as from Furisky, cold water.
Yeah.
But as far as I know, there's no other derivation for it.
No?
No.
So it's how do you pronounce it? Is it Furisky or Furisky?
Well, no, it's in English or Irish.
Irish.
In Irish, or Forishke.
Forishke, yeah.
Yeah.
Forishke?
Forishke.
Forishke.
So, do you reckon there is a place in Fanet called Ballyforishke?
Yes.
And I would assume that they must have been seamen or something at one time. Would you kind of go along with that?
Well, I couldn't answer that. The only thing the Forishkes that I know now are Tory Islanders.
Well, they're probably seafarers.
And they would be seafarers. And there's also, I think that there were Forishkes as well in Gortahork.
It's another.
My father came from Creasla.
All right. Well, then you're not too far off then.
No.
They're cutting the corn in Creasla today.
Aye.
Yes, but that's as much now information that I can give you.
That's interesting.
That is interesting because, Tory... Do you know if those Tory Islanders were Tory Islanders from way back or blow-ins?
Yes.
Were they?
Yeah, well, I know they were in the sea disaster years ago.
Oh, yes, but maybe you're referring to the HMS Wasp coming in the 1880s.
Right.
No, the Forishkes and Tory are an old family.
Yeah.
So
maybe I'll have to go to Tory Island, eh?
I say if you went to Tory Island, you'll get plenty of information.
Well, I was quite near it there last week. I was down in Bunbeg.
All right. I was there myself in July.
There you go. Eh?
Yes.
All right. So,
yes.
Mary, thank you very much.
Right you are.
Bye.
Okay, all the best. Bye-bye. Bye.
There you are. There's another little lead. Tory
Another
Island.
real lead. Thanks, Gerry.
I bet you never thought there was Woriskis on Tory Island.
No, I never thought about it, you know.
No, why would you? So next time you're there, you should take... Have you ever been there?
No, in Tory. No, nearest I've been is Gador, Bunbeg, Derrybeg, you know.
Oh, you should go to Tory.
I will go.
There's one tree on it.
Is that right? No?
Yeah, they tend it very carefully.
It'll be something like the Aran Islands, then.
And Patsy Dan, the king of Tory, is a good friend of mine.
Is that right?
Tell him I said hello.
I will do then if I get there.
He's a man who's very into the traditional Aboriginal painting of the island.
Oh, well, that's
the
good.
Primitive art.
Right then.
Okay.
Bye, Gerry. Thanks
Good
very
man.
much.
Bye.
See you now.
Bye.
There are places I remember all my life, though some have changed, some forever, not for better. Some have gone, and some remain. All these places have their moments with lovers and friends. I still can recall. Some are dead and some are living. In my life, I've loved them all. But of all these friends and lovers, there is no one compares with you, and these memories lose their meaning when I think of love as something new. And I know I'll never ever lose affection for people and things that went before. And I know I'll often stop and think about them. In my life, I've loved you more. In my life, I've loved you more.
That's nice harmony from Three Old Codgers. That's Crosby, Stills and Nash, Beatles song, of course, In My Life. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning.
Hello, is that Mr. Anderson?
It is indeed.
How you doing, Jerry?
I'm fine, thank you.
Pardon?
I'm fine, thank you.
Very good. I was listening there to your show. I listened to it regular, and there was a boy on there from the source of the River Lagan.
What would he know?
Well, he's right enough. It arrives just up above the Mora in the Sleeve Crib.
Yeah, we've recognised.
Well, that's always definitely right, and it goes right. It runs right down past Finnish Chapel and right down on down through the Mara, and then it runs through the moor.
Mm-hmm.
And goes right on round through the moor and edges in round Bemore, then and on down through Bemire, through Lisbon, and then there used to be a Lacking Canal at one time. The laders and all, the coal boats and all used to come up pulled by horses and all way years ago.
Yeah.
But I definitely right. I know where it. But now you see, where it raises, it's debatable exactly where it does raise in the mountain, but it definitely is right where it raises. But it forks a wee bit, you know. It forms a stream once you go past the Murrah Chapel. It's just into a wee stream, well then there's a wee bit of a fork. Well, it would be debatable which would be the Lagan, but that's not here nor there, you know.
Apparently,
but it raises in the Sleeve Crib Mountain.
Apparently, it starts with a trickle.
Pardon?
It starts with a trickle.
It always started with a trickle, and that there was nobody on there. Somebody else had talked. They were talking about the. Somebody said it rose up at the Spalga Dam.
Not at all.
No, the Spalga Dam. The Spalga Dam that's where the Bawn water raises.
Oh.
The upper Bawn raises there, right in a place called the Cock and Hen Mountain up in there. I knew all that part of the country for I cycled all around there and all years ago. Well, but he's a Scotch fellow that from Dermot. I don't know who he is. He's a blue one, I think, is he?
Yeah, I'd say probably is. You're a man.
He's right there. He's definitely right. It raises in the in Sleeve Crib, but it's now it formed into a wee bit of a fork. So, but he's near enough right. He's as a matter of fact, he's 100% right, you know.
Well, 100% is near enough for us.
No, he's on the Bawn River. The Bawn River raises in the Mourne Mountains up at Spalga. As a matter of fact, the Spalga Dam nearly built at the start of the dam. You know, the start of the River Bawn.
Yes, you're a man, I can tell, who keeps his eye on the countryside.
Pardon?
You're a man who keeps his eye.
Yeah, well, I'm out there. I do a lot of. I'm 75 now. I do a bit of fishing and shooting, you know, and I'm ready and fit. I'm still taking a dab of drink, and I'm running after women.
Well,
and it keeps me young, you know.
That's what I always say when people say to me.
Oh, it keeps your blood pressure right, you see.
Keeps lead in your pencil.
My blood pressure is 170 over 30, like a boy of 18.
All right, well, long may you run after them, and I hope you catch them.
But I'll be like the clergyman's dog running off the bank, and I wouldn't know what to do with it. Well, all the best, Jerry. The man from the Moor is 100% right.
Good, he'll be pleased.
Right, I was up and watched the salmon and all going up last year, but I knew that 50 from us going to school. It runs up past Finnish Chapel beside the Moor, and then when it goes all up in a wee trickle, it's a slight fork, but that's neither here nor there.
We won't talk about the fork, right?
And the Bawn River raises right up at the Bawn River, Upper Bawn, that raises at the Spalga.
Oh, yeah.
The Spalga Dam is more or less built on the source right where it starts, you know.
All right.
Okay,
then.
Jerry.
Thank you.
Right, you are now.
All right then. Okay.
There you are. Here and there.
Oh, I don't think we should bring the fork into this.
No. Well, this is Noel with a suggestion for the programme.
Oh, good. We need all we can get. Yes. Hello, good morning, Noel.
Good morning, Jerry.
I believe there's some kind of suggestion you'd like to make us regarding the programme.
Yes, Jerry, I'll tell you what it is. I'll try and put into as few words as what I'm saying.
No, take your time. It's all right.
My wife and I have been visiting in an old people's home here.
Yes.
And I noticed, Jerry, can I ask you something, or maybe you could share with some of your listeners, has our senior citizens in these residential homes lost the art of conversation? Because we arrived at a residential home the other evening at 8:30 to find a young people's choir there to entertain them, and 75% of the residents, Jerry, had gone to bed.
Yes.
I couldn't help thinking of your poet who was disappointed that you couldn't, read his poem. I think it was Thursday, Jerry.
Yes.
And could I suggest that these maybe amateur poets and amateur entertainers, there's a real platform for them, Jerry, in some of these homes.
Oh, yes.
Do you think it would be a good suggestion?
I do, because I know I had occasion to visit some of those residential homes over the period of a few years, and it's true. And some people do that. A lot of very nice people take a lot of time, and they give away their time to perform in front of the people. But I'll tell you one of the things. You said there's a conspiracy of silence. Not towards that extent, but you have to remember that when you get to that age, maybe you won't have much to talk about either.
Yes, I know that.
You know? And maybe you won't feel too well. You won't feel like talking.
Yes, I know what you mean.
And then when people go into those residential homes, you know, you must remember they're taken away from their homes that they've been living in maybe perhaps all their lives, and you know, they're not too happy. They're a little depressed, and they don't feel like talking to some stranger sitting beside them, you know.
Well, is that not all the more reason that we couldn't get a few feet tapping at least?
That is all the more reason. You're absolutely right.
And a few hands clapping.
And come in early before they go to bed.
And I'll tell you, Gerry, we have the man to head this. You have him on your programme. Could I suggest George is your man?
I don't think that's a terribly good idea.
Eh?
I don't think so. Geordie was a little bit unconventional.
Well, I'll tell you what, if we had some person to where a home could ring up and say, could someone come along, could we put out a cross to the listeners if someone could come along tonight and even read a poem or play a bit of music or even a bit of chat.
Yes.
It would be worth trying.
It would be.
And at the other hand, the like of your poet who was disappointed that his poem, that I can understand you can't read all the poems that come in, but there would be a platform for him, Gerry, to have a chance.
That's right, and I urge anyone out there who wants to, I mean, apart from anything else, it's actually, I mean, if you're going there to do a bit of an act, it'd be good for you to perform in front of people, you know, especially if you don't get any professional kind of experience, you know.
Yes, that's right.
And it's a bit of crack.
Could I, at this minute in time, Gerry, while we're talking, there's quite a number of residents in these homes sitting looking at the floor.
I know.
As we talk here now. Because the television doesn't ask them, Gerry, how are they keeping? How are you doing?
Yeah.
It's only the personal touch that could do this.
That's right, yeah.
And now, as the summer days are passing, as you look out your studio, I'm sure you can see the truth in that, and the evenings are getting longer, I'm sure there's people who maybe were busy otherwise, maybe might have an hour. You know, unfortunately, there's so many entertainers now need money, but I think there's good-hearted people in Ulster who would give of their time.
Well, as I say, I know people are doing that already, but maybe not enough.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much, sir. I hope maybe someone who's listening will take action.
Well, that's very good, Gerry.
All right, then.
Thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Bye, Gerry. All the best to you.
Bye. All the best.
Bye.
Bye. Hello?
Hello, good morning, Mr. Anderson.
Good morning, sir. A Scottish man again, is it?
Yes, it is. Indeed, it's your Scottish correspondent whose Kai was in the foggage, if you remember.
That, of course, yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming back to us.
Well, I tried while Sean was on holiday. I phoned twice.
Uh-huh.
And I was assured that you would get back to me.
Yeah.
And nothing.
I can't, I must apologise to you.
And on top of that, Mr. Anderson...
Yeah, we can... Sometimes these things happen.
Yes, they do. But on top of that, Mr. Anderson...
John, isn't it?
Yes, it is, John.
OK, John, what have you got?
You went on to say that we Scotsmen were bowly-legged.
Bow-legged, yes.
You must have been thinking of the wee Glasgow boys in the HLI.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Deprived of milk when they were young.
When I first went to Glasgow, nearly 80% of the people were bow-legged.
That's right.
It was like a city full of jockeys.
Rickets, boy, rickets.
Oh, I understand that. But that has gone away now.
Oh, and when is my interview to take place?
Well, I don't know. We haven't got the schedule made up yet. When are you free, mornings or afternoons?
Oh, mostly mornings.
OK. Well, see, there's two ways we can do this. We can either do it on the air or privately.
I would have to pay for the private one.
I prefer to do it on the air because then we know we can see the cut of a man's jib.
Yes.
And we can gauge his mettle.
Well... If Cecilia were here, she would tell you that the wind is blowing in Scotland.
Oh, it's blowing here too.
The trees are bent double, boy.
I know. Listen, we'll try and find maybe I should do a kind of a partial interview now, a pre-interview.
Yes.
Okay. There are certain things that are required before you're accepted as a fully fledged and official correspondent on this program.
Oh, I see. Yes.
I have to ask you a number of things. Are you married at all?
Yes, I am. Unfortunately, very happily.
Any children at all?
Yes, I have 3 children.
What? One of each?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear it. Have you had any extramarital affairs?
Oh, for the love of God, I was never that fortunate.
Let me rephrase it. Have you tried to start one?
No.
Unsuccessfully?
No. No, if you think of Geordie on a good day, that's me at my best.
Okay. Have you ever wittingly and knowingly harmed an animal?
Never.
Right. Have you ever been a member of the Communist Party?
Never.
Have you ever walked along the street in a country area and saw a worm writhing across the street slowly and went out of your way to stand on it?
No, never.
Come on, I hear
Never,
I sense a
never.
hesitation.
I would pick it up and take it home for the fishing.
In other words, you have been party to a worm's death.
Well, I've drowned one or two in my day, yes.
Okay, right. That's okay. We don't. They're not really. They don't count because they crawl.
Yes.
Have you ever? Now I hesitate to ask
No,
you
you're
this.
ripping it again.
No. I hesitate to ask you this. Have you ever looked at a woman's legs and there was bad thoughts in your heart?
No, never looked that far down.
Right, okay. Okay, well, I think you're doing well.
Good.
You're doing well. That's okay. We'll just leave it for now. I've got an idea of your profile.
I see, yes.
We'll get back to you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Anderson.
Thank you very much. We'll get back to you.
Thank you very much indeed.
Okay.
Good morning.
Bye. I think that went rather well. I have to say hello to Anne Wilson in Glengormley. Happy 30th wedding anniversary to her. That's from her husband, John. And hello to John and Jean Marshall and to Uncle Jim. Love from Margaret and all the family again. Oh, here's things that are upside down. Dara Morgan and Mary Dulé are getting married in Cork on Saturday. Love from all their friends. Here's another one upside down. Congratulations to Anne-Marie and John O'Hanlon. It's their 8th wedding anniversary. Love from Mum in Armagh. And congratulations to Lee on passing his exams. Many people in Northern Ireland. Big letters today. From Lucy, Ryan, Beverly and Justin. Good luck to Una Willis, who's retiring today. See, we've got the wide spectrum. First of all, A-level results and then people retiring from A to B. Enjoy the rest. What's it say? Good luck to Una Willis. Retiring today, enjoy. That's what it says. Love from all her friends. And hello to Evelyn Hathaway in Ballymena. Hello to her from her husband Cyril. And regarding the Banbridge leader photograph, how do we know for sure that the photo published is in fact our Geordie Duff and not the Duff Geordie who's pretending to be our Geordie? What do listeners think, Eddie McCann? There could be a clue in that. Let me just, Eddie Duff, the Duff Eddie. Geordie Duff, the Duff Eddie. No, that is the real Geordie. It's not the Duff Geordie, it's Geordie Duff. Geordie Tuft. That's the real Geordie. And that is the real nipper. Angela's on the line. Hello, Angela. Angela.
Hello.
Angela, are you the lady who's coming to see us in Ballycastle?
Well, I hope it's not like the day it is next week, like the day it is today, or else I won't be coming to see you. We're blowing away up here.
It's terrible, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, my plants were at the farther end of the street when I got up this morning.
I know. And they don't usually walk too far.
No, but mine were gone this morning.
Well, listen, you're the lady, aren't you, who promised to maybe call along and see us?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what, if the weather is clement
yes.
and you feel up to it, we'd love to see you.
Yes.
And you might give us a bit of a tune.
Well, we'll see. We'll see about that. No, I'm just back in, and I've just listened last week and this week, and I haven't heard any classical music at all. You've gone away on us then.
I have indeed, yes. We see every once in a while I kind of go away from it.
Yes, I know, but
let's see, what can I do? I'll tell you what, I'll try and come back tomorrow.
Great.
Okay.
Okay, if you do that, I'll come down and see you then.
Okay, that's
okay.
Geordie Tuft is coming with his ferret.
Yes, I've heard.
Dan Eggs will be there. You're going to meet some very strange people.
That's all right.
Are you sure you'll be okay?
What?
Are you sure you'll be okay?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. You meet a lot of strange people in this entertainment business.
That's what I'm thinking, because after all, you're in the old show business yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Of course, a few weirdos won't throw you.
No, not at all.
Okay, we look forward to seeing you.
Okay.
I shall be. You'll know me. I'll be wearing a beautiful suit and a nice black tie and a velvet. I'll be very stunning.
Oh, very. Oh, good.
Something to look
forward to. I'll have a lot of German visitors with us as well.
Will you have them?
Yeah. Well, my husband's German anyway.
Oh, and you have some visitors with you?
Yes, they'll be
bring them all
over.
down.
I will, of course.
We'll show them our ferret.
Yes, so they come the whole way to Ballycastle to see a ferret.
Well, people have travelled further for less.
Okay.
Okay, come down and see us.
Right.
Okay?
Okay, if you play something tomorrow, Will.
All right.
Okay.
Bye.
See you. Bye.
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 A velvet what? You said you were wearing something velvet. What? What will be velvet?
Sorry, it's hard to sing along with this, you know.
Yeah.
Never mind a velvet what. It all should be revealed on the Tuesday.
You'll be wearing something velvety.
Something blue, something borrowed, something velvety. Something dirty.
A man wants to know, why do people, when they're on the mobile phone, why do they walk around in circles?
Because they're fools. That's why. They're fools.
Why do
That's
they
all
do-
excuse me, Sean. Do you mind if I wind up the show? That's all we have for today. If you want to write to me, write to Gerry Anderson, care of BBC Radio 4, Derry Stoke, Londonderry. We're off now. We'll be back tomorrow at the same time. It's 12 o'clock. Goodbye.
92 to 95.